welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm just a girl who likes reading romance, romantasy, paranormal, fantasy, any kind of book in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. I also hope watch my videos can make your day just a little bit brighter. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's video, I'm going to be answering the questions to the mid-year freakout tag. The best book you've read so far this year. I cannot just name one, so off the top of my head it would be Unbound by Pete and Corinne. I love Paloma and Bennett so much. Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. I think that's Catherine's best book so far. And Catherine Cowles is just on a roll because in her previous series, I gave every book in that series 5 stars. And I believe with this series, it's going to continue that trend. Dagger Mouse by H.M. Wolf. I'm still thinking about that cliffhanger ending. And Tortured Souls by Melissa K. Roerich. Now, this is also has a crazy, twisty cliffhanger ending that I still am thinking about. Nobody writes cliffhanger endings in romantasy quite like Melissa K. Roerich. Best sequel you've read so far this year. That is Even in Death by Randy Gardner. And this is an MM romantasy that gives me manical vibe. I read book 1 and thought it was okay, The Goddess of. It was just fine. But then I read book 2, and book 2 was leaps and bounds better. New releases you haven't read but want to. I have 2 that I really want to read, but I'm still waiting on my library loan. The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. It's the sequel to When the Moon Hatched. I still have 3 weeks out for the ebook. I'm trying to avoid any spoilers for book 2, but I know like my friends have really loved this book. Corey from Novel Life, Baron from the book Baron, Rachel from Raven-Haired Reader, and they all love The Ballad of Falling Dragons. And I cannot wait to read this book. I still need to reread When the Moon Hatched because I read this book over 2 years ago and I remember nothing. Fury Bound, the sequel to Dire Bound. My library loan for this one is 25 weeks. Most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. October is gonna be the month of all months because we have ACOTAR Book 6 releasing in October. Most anticipated book this year. I have been dreaming about this book since Sarah J. Maas announced it on her Instagram that it's going to be releasing in October. I'm just so excited for this book. I have to reread the ACOTAR books. Luckily, my friend Jess is going to have an ACOTAR read-along, so I'm set. We have to read A Court of Thorns and Roses in June, and I'm so excited to reread the series. And another most anticipated book for me this year for contemporary romance is Undone by Pete and Corinne. The last book in her Undone series. I cannot believe this series is going to be over in October. it's so bittersweet for me because I love these characters and I love this world. I have cried in every single book of this series. Oh, I can't remember the title of the book, but the second book in the Cobalt Brothers series, Rockstar, and the cover is purple. Now, if you have been on my channel before, you know I love the Kristen Becker Reaching universe. Anytime they release a book in that universe, I'm going to read it day one. Book 3 in the Cobalt Empire is also releasing this year, and that is a pink cover. Biggest disappointment, I just don't get the hype. I read Kingdom of Ka and I gave it 4 stars, but then I read the sequel and I just don't understand why this series is so popular. The biggest surprise you've read this year, that would be the Heartstrings duet by Liezl. The first book is called Crown Me Dead. The second book is called Crown Me Yours. Now, this is the first duet I've read in its entirety by Liezl in all, because I've tried to read her previous books, but I ended up DNFing her previous series. So this duet, I've read both books, and it surprises me how much I love this duet because she didn't work for me before, but I love this duet. Favorite new author, debut or new to you? Amelia Humphreys, the author of The Falling Stars. The first book is Dissonance, the second book is Resonance, and book 3 is coming out later in June. And I pitched this book so many times in my previous videos. If you like the Edge of Darkness trilogy by Lee Rivers, you will like the Falling Stars trilogy. It gives me similar vibes, like similar tones. I loved this Falling Stars trilogy. Jane Washington. Now, I've heard my friend Jess from Honest Fiction talk about this author. I read the first book, Plie. It's her Why Choose Dark Academia series, Omegaverse. And I read it, I liked it, but I wasn't sure about the whole, it's a Why Choose romance, and there are 10 heroes, 10 love interests. I read One Small Echo, her romantasy, and I loved it. It's the most unique romantasy I've read so far this year. I've talked about this book a couple of times now, but the heroine is blind and the hero is mute, and in this world they bond two monsters that are stuck in their heads. Still can't believe the ending happened the way it happened, because I was gonna give this book 4 stars because it was very character driven and nothing really happened except for following the characters, but you get to the ending and it was like bam, and then it ended, and I just want to know what happened next. Newest fictional crush, that would be Bennett from Unbound. I love Bennett so much. He's one of my top book boyfriends this year. A book that made you cry, The Poet Empress by Chantal. And I cried in this book because of the familial dynamics, and the ending of this book had me sobbing my eyes out. A book that made you happy. Maple and Moonlight by Daphne Elliott made me happy. It's a single mom romance, small town. It made me happy because of a certain character in this book. See, the hero is the heroine's landlord. and he has a pet dog, and that dog is the highlight of this book for me. He made me happy. He made me cry. I love this dog, and he just made me happy. I wish I can have a dog like that in real life. Most beautiful book you acquired this year. I don't know about the most beautiful book, but the most recent book that I bought, the book that I got from Book of the Month under Lee's last contract of Isaka. The last question is, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? Quiet One, L.B. Douglas. It's the third book in the Next Generation series from the Fallaway series, and this book kind of came out last year, and I still haven't read it yet. I really want to. Those are all the questions in the midyear freakout tag. What are your answers to these questions? I would love to know. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you Monday. Bye. Have a great weekend.